Hey guys, it's Kaylee from K-Books and this is my wrap-up post for the past 2 months. I didn't have time to film a wrap-up post last month and I only ended up reading 4 books in January, so I thought that I'd just do it together for 2 months this month. So in January I read 4 books. The first was My Not So Super Sweet Life by Rachel Harris. This is the 3rd book in the Super Sweet 16th Century series and I beta read this for Rachel. I gave it 4 stars. I absolutely loved it. It's a fantastic addition to the series. I'm really happy she ended up writing a 3rd one because I know that she'd planned to only write 2. But it really sort of wrapped up all of the ends. I gave it 4 stars because I kind of missed a little element in it that the first 2 had, the 3rd one didn't. But I'm not going to say what that was because obviously it could even change before it publishes, so we'll see what it's like when I read the finished version. The second one was another Rachel Harris book that I beta read for her, and it was The Fine Art of Pretending. This is her upcoming young adult contemporary that's coming out with Spencer Hill Contemporary later this year. It was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. It's such a feel-good, uplifting, motivating book, and it's just got such a great message for young girls out there that when they read it, to see that it's okay to be who you are and you don't have to pretend and you don't have to be popular, and it's just a fantastic book that I think everybody will love. The next one I read was Asphodel by Lauren Hammond. And I didn't even finish this book, I ended up DNFing it. I'd really looked forward to it. It's a young adult mythology book, which typically I love mythology books, but the execution just wasn't there. For me, I was bored, I just couldn't keep reading it. I did write a mini not review on my blog, which I'll leave a link to, but it just wasn't for me, that book, I'm afraid. The last one I read in January was The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and I gave this one 5 stars. Everyone had warned me about this book, and this is why it took me so long to pick it up. But with the movie coming out, I decided to finally pick it up and read it. I absolutely loved it. It's fantastic. It's such a beautiful book. It's beautifully written. It's an incredible story, but it is absolutely heartbreaking, to which I think I sobbed for about an hour and a half at the end. But it's fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie, even though I know that the movie's probably going to break me. So my top 3 books of January, I know there was only 4, but I still did a top 3. Number 3 was My Not So Super Sweet Life by Rachel Harris. Number 2 was The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And my number 1 was The Fine Art of Pretending. So, going on to February's books, I read quite a few this month actually. This was a pretty good month for me. I read Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. I gave this one 5 stars. I've been such a huge fan of Sophie Jordan's books. I've read her Firelight series and I've read her new adult Ivy Chronicles series as well, and loved both of them. I'm a big fan of dystopia books, so when I heard that she was writing this, which is a young adult's dystopian book, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. It was absolutely fantastic. The review is already up on the blog. It was just great. It's unique. It's about a girl who she finds out that she's got the gene, the kill gene. So it's that all murderers and everyone, they found a gene that goes with that. So she's sort of isolated, taken away from her family and stuff like that. It's such a unique and fantastic book. I really loved it. The second one I read was Be With Me by Jaylin. This is the 2nd book in the Wait For You series, which follows the story of Cam's little sister, Teresa, and his best friend Jace. I gave this one 5 stars. It was fantastic. I think I may have liked it a little bit more than Wait For You, but I love them both for different reasons. It's a fantastic new adult contemporary romance, and I just loved it. The next one I read was a beta read, and this one was Pieces of Olivia by Melissa West. I am a huge fan of Melissa West, and I have read everything that she's ever written and put out so far. Pieces of Olivia is a contemporary romance, and it's fantastic. I loved everything about it. It got 5 stars. It was amazing, and I'm just so excited for it to actually be released and for people to read it, because it's just so epically amazing. The next one I read was an ARC, and it is The Secret Diamond Sisters by Michelle Madden. This is the first in her new series, the Secret Diamond Sisters series, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. It's a good story, but I couldn't really connect with the characters. I was getting a little bit bored throughout, and I didn't particularly like the characters. They were just a bit unlikable to me, and the whole story seemed a little bit superficial, because it was all about Hollywood and money and living in Vegas, and yeah, I wasn't a massive fan, but I will probably read the sequel just sort of to find out what happens. It is a good read, but I was just a little bit let down by it. The next one I read was Graduation Day by Joelle Charbonneau. This is the 3rd book in the Testing trilogy, and I gave it 5 stars. If you have been following my blog at all over the past year, you will know that this is one of my favourite series. The Testing was incredible and completely blew me away. Independent Study was the same, and I just loved Graduation Day. It was, to me, the perfect ending to this series. I really hope that she plans on doing a little spin-off, because I think the end definitely gives way for a spin-off to occur. If she doesn't, then it's not needed, but I would love to see one. This is such a great series. I'm very sad to see it end. But yeah, Graduation Day was amazing. The next book I read was Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is Jennifer's first YA thriller, and everyone knows Jen is my favourite author of all time. I absolutely adore her. I couldn't wait to read this book. I really couldn't wait to get my hands on it, but I was a little bit nervous because I don't particularly like thrillers. I don't read thrillers. I've read a few, didn't think they were that good, so I've always sort of looked at that genre as in it's not my type of genre. Jen changed my mind because this book was fantastic. I couldn't put it down. I read it in the space of a day. It was just amazing. I couldn't put it down. It was so good, and it really changed my mind about the genre, which is why I love this so much, and it's the reason why this is possibly my favourite JLA book, and it's purely because it did change my mind about the genre, and an author who can do that is incredible to me. The last book I read this month was Sweet Reckoning by Wendy Higgins. This is the 3rd and final book in the Sweet trilogy, and it was phenomenal. I gave it 5 stars. It was just incredible. I absolutely adored it. There are no words. It was amazing. It was a fantastic end to the trilogy. It was perfect in every way. It was unputdownable. It was sweet. It was sexy. It was exciting. It was incredible. I just loved it. And although I'm very sad to be saying goodbye to the characters, Wendy definitely did it justice. It was the perfect ending I could have hoped for. I absolutely adored it. So my top 3 of this month, number 3 is Graduation Day by Joelle Charbonneau. Number 2 is Sweet Reckoning by Wendy Higgins. And number 1 is Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. That's all for this post, so thanks for watching. Bye!